Hello and welcome. This is Ruth, and today I'm going to show you how to make a lovely silhouette card with one of the dies from the beautiful Say Cheese Classic Pooh collection from Spellbinders. Now, it's just this simple die here, and I've got a few different ways of using it, and also a little tip of how not to waste the pieces that you cut off from it as well. But stay tuned, because if you want to see more, don't forget to hit that notification bell and subscribe to my channel, because you're going to see more of these as they come along. Spellbinders have just released some absolutely gorgeous things here. I've just got a few of them in front of me, but look, Tigger and Eeyore, Pooh's Honey Pot, Friendly Moments, that's an absolutely gorgeous BetterPress set of plates, and then we've got memory frames. We've also got Pooh and Piglet and Silly Old Bear Sentiments. I've actually got the BetterPress plates of those sitting ready to use. And then there's this beautiful Pooh's alphabet, numbers and more. So you can see all of that, and do have a little look on the website. I'll have all my affiliate links to everything that I use will be down below. But I wanted to make a little sort of tent card with this one, and I'll just show you my prototype. I went ahead and made one so that I could just be sure that everything was going to work, and it's really just this little battery tea light fits in there nicely, and it's kind of light at the minute. It's kind of bright outside, but that will be lovely whenever it finishes. Whenever it gets a bit darker later on, I'll take a little photograph of that, or else just pull the blinds. So there we are. That's what I intend to do. I've got a 5x7 card ready to go, and I want to make a little silhouette frame here, but I don't want to cut this piece out and attach it straight on. What I'm going to do is put it here and make just a little mark with a pencil. So let's just grab a pencil. And then I'm going to cut the little frame out here. There's a couple of different ways you could do that. You could just do it with a craft knife and a steel ruler, or you could use a trimmer like I'm going to, but any of these ways will work. So probably just about there. I'm going to make a little mark, and there, because that's kind of where I would like that to sit on my card. I want this area down here to be able to have a sentiment in it, so I want to leave a little bit of room. And I think probably about 1.5 centimeters of a little frame around that would be just what I'm looking for. So as I said, you can just definitely measure in 1.5 centimeters down here to that point, 1.5 centimeters here and 1.5 centimeters here. Draw a line around that and cut it with your craft knife, and just use a steel rule. That would be pretty handy for that. But what I'm going to do is just lay this in here, and I'm going up to 1.5 centimeters. You'll have to bear with me, because I do sort of tend to mix between inches and centimeters. It doesn't really mean an awful lot to me, because my tools seem to have both on, so that's just where I go. I'm going to follow this around here now with the little blade and just cut from this point down here, and leaving a 1.5 centimeter frame the whole way around. But the bottom here is not going to get cut, because that's where I've made those little marks before. Now I've got this cut out, as you can see there. It's really, really easy just to place this piece on again. So this was roughly where I wanted that to sit. I've already marked it, as I showed you earlier on. And I'm just going to pop this right back on there and tape that down. And then when I cut that out, this piece will be attached. So that's going on there, just to hold that in place so that it doesn't move. Now, on the other side of this, I'm going to put some of this double-sided tape. I've got a big roll of it here, and I'll link this down below if you're interested. But you could use self-adhesive sheets if you wanted. You could even use glue, but I reckon sometimes the glue just puckers the vellum a little bit. So this is just going to go across here. Maybe just trim a little bit off that. That's just going to go slightly below where that join is, and go across there. Now this piece here is slightly above that, so I'm going to add another little bit on there. It's really just to hold these pieces nice and smoothly onto the vellum, and I'll nip that off. I think that's about the only piece that's going to sit up. Yeah, it is. So now I've got the double-sided adhesive on the back, just like that, and this part is just attached here, and I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine. So now I can take the die off this, but as you can see, because I've already cut this, it hasn't gone right through here. All I need to do then is, well, I would normally do this on a glass mat, but it kind of reflects quite a lot whenever I'm videoing. So I'm just taking my craft knife. I don't even need a ruler there. I can just follow that line on through and go right down and make sure that joins up just like that. And do the same over here. Now I've cut a piece of that beautiful gold vellum, and that's going to go on here. So you can see there that it's going to attach onto here really, really well, because I'm going to be able to peel this backing off, but I need some adhesive along here too. So some fine double-sided tape just along the edge of that and right down here. And then I'll take the backing off all of that and add the vellum straight on. I've got some ink now, and I'm going to just create a little kind of a sunset effect in behind this, but because we're using this gold vellum, it will all just blend in nicely at the top, and I don't need to do the top at all. So just turn this over and go with a sort of a deeper reddy orange colour in at the base of it here, just as high as you want with that one. And then yellow on here, and then the gold will be up at the top. Now, depending on what kind of ink you've used on there, it might take it a little while to dry, because ink on vellum is kind of well, it just takes a little while. So I would set that aside and move on to something else and just leave it open like that, or else you can use a heat gun. I've already done that, but I didn't want to warp the vellum, so I've just left it. Heated it a little bit and then just left it. So I've now got a panel, and this panel is the same width as the card. You can see it there. It's just exactly the same width, and it's 2.5 inches deep this way. And I have scored that and folded it and burnished it really, really well in half lengthwise. And then I've gone 1/4 of an inch, roughly a 1/4 of an inch on each side of it here, and just folded that up. So whatever depth you do on each side needs to be the same, and it's got to be folded in a mountain fold right down the centre. So that's a mountain fold and 2 valley folds, and when you turn it over, then you'll be able to add double-sided tape along both of these edges, and that then will create a little gusset for putting in the card, and that will then hold the little battery tea light whenever you put it in. So take away the adhesive on one of these sides. You could really use glue on there if you wanted, but with this point facing up into the inside, you'll just lay the fold right down at the bottom there, just like that. I'll show you this closer in a more detail just in a second, but that's what you're wanting to do there. So from the side view, it's going to look like this, with this piece pointing up in, and then this piece along like that. So you'll be able to move this over and glue that onto here, either with glue or with the double-sided tape as I've used it there. But I thought I would like a little bit of extra shine. Now you can see on this one, I've actually just left it plain inside. It's just black, but I thought I might like a little bit of extra shine here. So I've cut a piece of gold card that fits just directly in behind. So I'll measure this one. I think it's, again, here I go, 15 centimeters by 11. So roughly 15 by 11. It can be a little bit bigger if you want. And I'm going to put this on with double-sided tape into that little gap at the back there, just before I finally add the last piece onto the little gusset piece, because once I glue that little bottom piece on, you wouldn't be able to get in behind there with this. So there we are. I don't know if it'll make much difference, but I think it'll actually make that little battery tea light shine just a little bit more, and that might be nice. But you could use matte mirror card, sort of satin effect. Ooh, there's me. So you could use glitter card or satin effect mirror card. You could even just put white card in, but I thought that would be really nice because the little battery tea light might reflect off it. So now I've got that in. Oh boy, it does reflect, doesn't it? Just take this off, and all you need to do now is put this down flat and lay this directly over the top and connect those two edges. I'm using the Silly Old Bear Sentiments in my BetterPress machine, so I'm just inking up the press plate here at the moment with some black ink, and then I've also got the dies to cut that out. I'll run this through my die cutting machine, and then I'll have a lovely sentiment. I can take my choice of them, just pick whichever one I want, but I think I want this one here that says, "You're a real friend." Anyhow, I'll see when I have them all done. I'll cut them out and add one right across the bottom of the card, because that's why I left this little gap in here. I did a really silly thing there. I cleaned the ink off the plastic that I have on my BetterPress here with some stamp cleaner, and then forgot to dry it. And I ran this through the BetterPress, and of course, look, it's all marked around here. I should have dried that off first, and then that wouldn't have happened. But I've had a little look, and I think the dies are actually going to miss that, and certainly the one that says "You're a real friend" is going to miss it anyway. So I can go ahead with this now and tape this on top. Lesson learned, I'll know not to do that again. I had intended to put a gold strip across there and then put the sentiment on top of that, but now when I see how well it looks just the way it is, I'm just going to put it on just like that and glue it right in the center there. And then I'm going to add a few of these little gems on there. These are the Peach Blush self-adhesive gems. So there are different sizes of them, and I thought they matched this really, really well. So just going to add a few of them across the sky, like little stars. That has turned out just exactly how I wanted it, and I'm really, really happy with that. So I'm just going to pop my little battery tea light in here and see what it looks like. Oh, you can't really see that to the best effect at all, but I definitely will take photographs of it or a little video and show you what that's like in proper light, because it's just too light now, and that has a really, really lovely little glow to it. Remember at the beginning I said I would show you a card that sort of meant you weren't really wasting anything? Well, I kept the panel that came from here, just took that off, and I trimmed it down, as you can see, and it's still got some adhesive tape on the back of it. I'm going to put a little bit of glue just up around these edges, and then I'm going to mat that onto a piece of white card, and I'm going to use this on a piece of, well, actually on a 5x7 card. So I've taken a piece of white card here that I'm going to mat that onto, and it's exactly the same width as that, and then it's leaving me a little bit of depth as well. So I'm going to carefully peel these pieces off and attach this directly on top there. I'm just going to use this one for guidance, and this is the piece here. So I know that goes there, and you can just see the little pieces coming together nicely. That would actually make a lovely card front as it is, but I'm going to mat it onto some of this beautiful sort of amber coloured card, just like that. And then I've taken the little sentiment that I had already stamped out with my BetterPress plates. I'm going to put that on there, and then I'm going to add all of that onto a 5x7 card, so you've got quite a bit of white space going on around there. That was a really, really quick and easy card. I just added a few gems up here, but you can see that was because I saved this black piece from the first card, and because I had already made all the sentiments in one go and die cut them with the full big die here. So that was just another really easy way to use up what you've left over and not waste anything at all. And I love that. I'm sure you do too. Of course, there's lots and lots of other ways that you could use that die, because you could cut these out and layer them straight on, cut that panel out itself just like that, and cut off just around here and lay that straight onto a card and glue it down. That would be really, really beautiful. You could use lots more colours than I have here, or you could keep it all self-coloured, just whatever you fancy. But I think I'll keep those for another video at some other stage if I get time. I just wanted to show you two ways of using the die here so that you were getting a really lovely tint card that you could have a glow in behind, and then something that you could use well, I'm calling it waste, but nothing's really waste to crafters, is it? So that you get a sort of a 2-for-1, and I know lots of people appreciate that, so I hope you do enjoy it. But don't forget, if you have enjoyed it, it really, really helps my channel along if you give the video a big thumbs up, and if you leave me a little comment and let me know what you think about it. Also, my affiliate links to everything I've used will be down below in the description of the video. If you've any problems using those at all, or you ever come across any links that aren't working, give me a little shout and I'll fix it. Some of the companies that I have been using links for have changed lately, and their links no longer work, and I need to change them all and haven't got around to doing it all. So do drop me a little note and let me know. And don't forget to subscribe, that always helps, and hit that notification bell. And until next time, happy crafting. Thank you. Bye bye.